It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at wcbe.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Mary Urena.
And this is It's Movie Time.
Grab the popcorn.
Okay, I don't know if I could say the whole title. Where we got another one of these? Tell me, Mary, what is the title of this?
Oh, that's not fair. You're kicking it to me.
I am. I do
I can do it. I can do
Okay.
it. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh my God, it's such an inflated title. Does it have anything to do with the film itself?
Yes, I think it does.
Right? Tell me.
Well, this is, if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, this is the ultimate Nicolas Cage experience. And he plays himself in a fictionalized role and a fictionalized subconscious character role in a movie that is really hard to explain beyond that.
Well, the director, Tom Gormican, and his co-writer, Kevin Etten, have framed something as something like a love letter to Nick Cage.
Certainly super fans, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And so what they've done is integrate a whole bunch of Nicolas Cage's films into another film that kind of mirrors his own adventuresome roles. And you sent me an article that I'm going to put online, which describes the many films.
The many references within the context of this film of his previous roles in films, and it's a pretty incredible list. And even with that list, and I was trying to catch them as I watched the film, I'm not sure it's an exhaustive list because there's so many, as they would say in the gaming world, Easter eggs hidden within the film.
Yes.
It makes it quite the treasure hunt as you experience.
Very good. And even Mary does that with her, wasn't he National Treasure or something, one of his films?
Yes, he did.
So
True.
You got that. So somewhere along the line, he depicts himself as in a strange situation of needing money.
Yes, he's somewhat of a washed-up actor past his prime, and he's trying for the role of a lifetime, which he does not get. He's in debt. Excuse me. And he's offered $1 million to attend the birthday party of a super fan of his. This mysterious wealthy man happens to live in Mallorca, which, what a beautiful setting to go on a private jet to.
Yes.
And he accepts the offer, and then
This is
Nick in this.
And he and Javi are going. He's going to put together. They're going to put together a script. And
Yeah, it turns out the super fan also wrote and submitted a script to Nick's agent.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what it turns out to be is that they turn out to crank out the kind of film they say they wouldn't do, which is merely really a blockbuster.
Right.
Type. But part of Cage's strategy here is to keep himself with Javi because the FBI has already engaged him.
Right. I mean, not to make it more complicated,
I know.
but as he's landing in Mallorca on the private jet of this mysterious millionaire, who is already, as we come to find out, being staked out by the CIA for being an international gun runner or other types of criminal activity.
Yes.
And so they decide, given that the person who came off the plane wasn't who they expected, but turns out to be the very famous actor Nick Cage.
Yes, right.
They decide to engage him because he's already got an in.
Yeah, yeah. And so you can see how it gets complicated, but really it's a mirror to the variety of activities as an actor that Nick Cage has been involved in.
Yes.
And the variety of films, not the least of which is winning the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas.
Right.
Oh, Mary, this is a good actor.
Very good actor, and it's actually funny to hear all the references to all of his films because he did voiceover work, he did serious films, he did quirky films, independent films, the action blockbuster, and all of them are referenced in one way or another, and it really shows the depth and breadth of the work, his body of work throughout his entire career.
So What's enjoyable about this film, Mary?
Well, I found it to be, and I'm not a huge, like, I know all of Nick's
Oh, I mean,
Cage's
either.
films,
Right,
and
yeah.
I haven't seen them all.
Yeah.
But to my surprise, and pleasantly so, it's a very funny film. It's a clever film. And there are so many layers to it that just make it a lot of fun. And I agree with you. Pedro Pascal as Javi really is just a great counterpoint and partner with Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage and his character, Nick Cage, on film in this story.
And you might say that he equals Cage, if not exceed him,
In some
the
ways,
impact
yes.
of his role in this.
Yes.
Very, I mean, so, and therefore very unusual kind of film where you have the star not necessarily being the star of the film, because you've got his counterpart there who he's writing the script with, is Javi, played by an accomplished actor who's, I think, becoming a very serious member of the Academy at this point.
And many of you may recognize Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
He's
right.
a Game of Thrones alum, if you need a reference point.
Yes, yeah. Now, are there any women in this?
There are a few women. Part of the story with regards to Nick Cage and his dysfunctional life outside of his now declining acting career is he's divorced and has a teenage daughter played by Lily Sheen, who's the daughter of Kate Beckinsale and Michael Sheen.
Yes.
And
I think she's impressive.
she's very impressive, and her relationship with her dad is strained, which is portrayed in the film in a way that makes you really kind of sympathize with her and less so with him, because he's so overbearing with trying to connect with her by interesting her in what interests him.
You know, Mary, and this I find an intriguing part of the parental theme in this film, because there are many, including our good friend Johnny DiLoretto, who school his kids, his boys, on film and on the history of film.
Mm-hmm.
And here Cage is trying, as a character, is trying to interest his daughter in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which has got to be over 100 years.
And a German existential film, nonetheless.
And I am saying, well, yeah, that because their point is it's all movies for him.
Right, and it's all about the craft and the stories.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and yet on the other side he has something to give.
he does, and his is not the only parental story in the film, because at the height of the birthday party for Javi gives a toast to Nick Cage and specifically references the film Guarding Tess that he watched with his dying father.
Oh, right.
And it was through this beautiful story of Guarding Tess that he was able to reconcile with his dying father.
Oh yes, good one. The whole another theme there is the bromance.
Yeah, oh, certainly, yes.
Isn't that funny? I mean, they do push that just a bit.
They do push it, and the thing that's entertaining about it is their relationship, which they both say they want to write a film that's about relationships and about the people, not about the action. As they're writing it, they're also living it, which that layer is just very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it is, and I think that the audience shouldn't be put off by the multiple levels of this film.
Oh, not at all. It's very smart. It's cleverly written.
Right.
The fact that Nicolas Cage took on this role in such a self-deprecating way is just. It's just fun.
And you know, and then in art and life mixing together, we suspect Nick Cage needs the money that he gets from this film because he's on his 5th marriage.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
This
he's-
is not an indictment.
No,
Nicolas Cage's personal
No,
life,
this is
by the
an
way.
analysis. He would laugh and agree with us. There are many films, because people know that he has done trash films. Many he has done because he has bills to pay. And with that many wives, and I believe divorces, he has a lot. So he's making 100 movies.
He works a lot.
He works a lot. Anyway, all right. So, Mary Arena, your advice then is?
I would say make the trip to the movie theater. This is a fun, clever film that I think even if you're not a Nicolas Cage fan, you will thoroughly enjoy.